Yo, what's good? Next to Amolytics. Happy Sunday, everybody. I'll give a quick recap of last night and we'll move forward. Went 4 for 5 again. Just missed out on a sweep. Freeman didn't come through against Fetty. Fetty looked all right, against the Dodgers. He walked like 4 or 5 people. So I'm not sure how he keeps getting away with this. The Dodgers were horrible with runners in scoring position. Went over, I believe, 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. 2 of those was Freddie himself. So, just bad luck there. I think he went 0 for 4 with a walk. Pena went 1 for 5. Got an infield single in the 5th against Williams, with Houston taking that game. Wilson went 2 for 5 in the game against Baltimore. That was high scoring as I thought it would be. And then Arizona and Cincinnati. Cincinnati got to Nelson. I told you it's different, going from the bullpen to starting, and especially when he's been doing both. So he doesn't quite have a rhythm, for how his routine and how he gets ready for those games. So they got to him there. I want to say it was 13-1, 14-1. Eli De La Cruz went 1 for 4 with a double. And then Marte also got a hit there against Martinez before they pulled him in the 6th or 7th from the lineup as it was a rout. Okay, but and then Carroll didn't play yesterday, so for the home run play, that was voided. But moving forward on to today. Starting out, I like Jose Ramirez of Cleveland. Going against a lefty here of Walter. Let me see. I believe Walter has 1 start, maybe. He has 1 start 2 weeks ago against Tampa Bay. Pitched pretty good there. Three hits, 1 walk, 0 earned, and 5 innings pitched. So small sample size here for him. Jose has been hitting lefties well. Batting a 394 weighted OBA with a 15% K rate. So I like this spot. Jose's starting to get it going again. He's on a 7-game hitting streak now. Previous, to now, he was riding a 21-game hitting streak as well. So Jose's been hitting the ball well for, over the course of the past month or so. But I like this for him. I like this spot. I like Cleveland to get back here. They're down 2-0 in the series. So I like this spot for Cleveland as a whole. I will say I don't like Bibby, whatever you want to call his name. I don't think he's an ace by any means. So, Houston could take a sweep here against Cleveland. Moving forward, next up, I like Larnach of Minnesota. Lefty there going against Francis. If you've been on here, you know that I've about attacked Francis every single week. Struggles with lefties. There's a couple in Minnesota's lineup. You got Larnach, you got Castro, you got Clemens if he's out there. You also have Warner too. But, I like Larnach here. He's batting a 399 weighted OBA versus right-handed pitching over the course of the past 2 weeks and 43 plate appearances with a 16% K rate. He's also seeing that 4-seamer that Francis loves to throw to lefties. Let me see here. He loves to throw that 4-seamer to lefties. He's given up a 209 whip to lefties with a 9% K to walk rate. Let me see the exact percentage of how much he's throwing that 4-seamer. So over the course of the past month, he's throwing that 4-seamer 60% of the time, 62% to be exact, of the time to lefties. And, Larnach's seeing that well. I'll find the exact numbers of that real quick. So he's batting a 444 with a weighted OBA with 511, 2 home runs against that. His K percentage is at a 21%, and that's average, I will say. Over 18 ABs. He's not. It's not bad, but it's not necessarily like a good K percentage there. But I still like this. He has 57% line drives, 21% fly ball, so he's barely putting the ball on the ground, and he's hitting has a hard hit rate of 64% against the four seamer alone. So I like that matchup for Larnach. I'm hoping he's a leadoff. For some reason, they've been putting Buxton at leadoff, which he was leadoff, against right-handed pitching, prior to Buxton coming back from injury. And Buxton's like 0 for 20, in his last 4 games. So I'm hoping they sit him and put him down the lineup a little bit and have Larnach lead off there against Francis. Moving forward, next up, doubling back here, Wilson, of the Athletics, going against Sugiyano here against righties. Let me see. I will say Sugiyano's whip against righties is not that high, but he doesn't walk people and he doesn't strike people, he's not throwing something that's going to blow you by any means. So he's pretty much pitching to contact, in which I like that for Wilson. Someone who puts the ball, in play, at a good rate, and gets hits when he puts the ball in play. Wilson has a 484 weighted OBA versus right-handed pitching, riding an 8-game hitting streak, 11% K rate. And as I said, Sugiyano, he just pitches to contact, different pitcher, older pitcher there from Japan, I'm pretty sure. I watched his game against St. Louis, in which he gave up 8 hits there, 3 earned. They got to him a bit. And then he pitched decent last week against Seattle. Seattle's a pitcher's ballpark. He gave up 6 base runners there, 1 earned. Let's see, last time he went away. Milwaukee, he gave up 6 base runners, 2 earned there. Pitched well against the Angels as well. I'm not gonna lie. That was the beginning of May. He went 7 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned. So this may be I will say, Baltimore has a path to get to Lopez, the lefty on the other side. There are righties in the lineup. Rushman. We took him the other day, but didn't come through. But they have an avenue to get to Lopez. Lopez has been pretty bad. But I like, Wilson and, the Athletics to jump back here. I'm not sure what Baltimore's bullpen looks like right now, or how much they use, in the past 2 days. But however, I like this matchup. As I said, Sugiyano likes to pitch to contact, and, Wilson's someone that puts it in play. So I'll ride with this. Next up, I like Cody Bellinger of the Yankees going against Dobbins of Boston. Boston took game 2 last night. I like the Yankees to bounce back here. Dobbins has been struggling. Hasn't made it. He's made it to 6 innings pitched once in the past 5 games. He's given up 4, 5, 4, 1, 0 earned runs in the past 5 games. Base runners wise, gave up 6 against Baltimore in 4 innings pitched. I think he had a opener that game. I'm pretty sure he had an opener that game against Baltimore. And then New York Mets, he gave up 6 base runners, 1 earned. Detroit got to him away. So let's look at these away games actually. So his last away game was Detroit, in which they got to him for 9 base runners, 5 earned. The Kansas City game, he pitched decent. Kansas City's not by far not a good offensive team, and their ballpark isn't necessarily for offense. I will say you can get doubles quite a bit in Kansas City, but homers and things of that nature, which I believe New York's one of the top teams as far as scoring by home run too. So it's very different than Yankee Stadium, which is lefty friendly for Bellinger, and which Dobbins struggles with. He struggles with lefties, giving up let me find his whip. Giving up a 2.0 whip to lefties, with a 381 average there, and let me see his last. So he's only had 2 away in his last. So he's only started 8 games this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He started 7 games this year with 2 away. And as I mentioned, when he faced a lefty-heavy lineup in Detroit, he got shelled. So I like this for Bellinger. In the course of the past 2 weeks, Bellinger's batting a 336 weighted OBA versus left-handed pitching. He's riding a 6-game hitting streak, striking out at a 6% rate. And hitting behind Judge, helps him as well. Pitchers, they don't want to pitch to Judge, so they pitch around him. And Bellinger's in good spots to get RBIs and get hits. So him for an RBI, here isn't today isn't bad either, to be honest. Moving forward, last one. I like Austin Riley, out there in San Fran against London. I think it's Landon Rupp. One sec. Pull them up. Okay, over the course of the past 5 games, Landon Rupp he went 6 1/3 against San Diego. Good game. San Diego has been struggling offensive wise, for the past month or so, but he gave up 6 base runners there, 0 earned. Detroit got to him a bit. He was away in Detroit, gave up 7 base runners, 1 earned. Other than that, he's been pitching pretty decent. Washington, I don't really count, at all. He pitched well against the Athletics, who as a team haven't been good for the past for a while, past couple of weeks. He pitched decent there, gave up 7 base runners. He's given up at least 7 base runners in these 3 out of this 5, and 6 out of 4, 6 base runners in 4 out of the last 5. Not giving up many earned runs. I will give him that. I like this matchup due to the pitch mix of Rupp here. He loves to throw the sinker, in which Riley, has been hitting quite well, batting a 455 against it. And over the course of the past 2 weeks, he's batting a 344 weighted OBA versus right-handed pitching. I also liked his squared up rate against right-handed pitching. I can find his exact number. His blast rate as well, but his squared up rate at 22% there, blast rate at 20.3% as well. So yeah, again, I like this matchup for Riley. I like for them to get back something here, salvage a win. They're down 2-0 right now. Atlanta is, so I don't see them getting swept. Strider, is in a good position to bounce back, hopefully. He hasn't looked quite well. He struggles with lefties more, and which is not that many lefties in San Fran's lineup. So you'll see Lee, you'll see Bailey maybe, but other than that, they're heavy righty, in which he's a bit better, against. So we'll see there. And then home run wise, I'll say I'll double back to Carroll of Arizona, who I picked yesterday. They're down 2-0 right now too. They're going against, what am I forgetting? Oh, Singer of the of Cincinnati. I didn't necessarily check the weather there, but I'm pretty sure it's good weather there. And Cincinnati's always a good ballpark to hit one out of. And I expect Carroll. I don't know why he got the day off yesterday. I know he got the day off against the lefty the day before, but yesterday, they had a righty out there, me and Martinez. So I'm not sure why he got the day off, but a couple of days off here, doesn't hurt. So I like him to start it off there for Arizona, and help them salvage a win on today too. But in order wise, I like Jose today against Water, Houston at Cleveland. I like Wilson, Baltimore at the Athletics. Then next up, I have Bellinger, Boston at New York. And then I have San Fran at Atlanta, Riley, and then Toronto at Minnesota. I have Larnach. So in that order, I like, and then Carroll for the home run. Hope you guys have a great day. If you want to be notified when I post, please subscribe and turn on your notifications. Like, comment, share. Let me know anything that you want to hear, anything that you don't understand for that matter that I speak on. I'll give an explanation of it as well. Have a good one.